got you if you say so. Tiptoe on a tightrope. You know
Good afternoon to my entire Jeunesse Australasia family as I welcome you to Jeunesse University Live, your virtual connection to Generation Young. Thank you for tuning in and taking the time to be with us today, and be sure to drop us a comment below and let us know where you are listening from. By now, each and every one of you will be well and truly versed in our Jeunesse Live platform as it continues to bring you the event brands that you know and love just virtually. Your teams can tune in from anywhere in the world from the comfort of their own home and learn the tips and tricks to grow their business with Jeunesse in 8 different languages. Now make sure you keep up to date with all the events at jeunesselive.events. Now today I wanted to talk a little bit about leadership during tough times and how to restore that feeling of control. Leading your organisation already has its challenges at times, and the situation we are in at the moment has made it even more challenging for some. You've heard it countless times over the last few months, the word unprecedented. Like that word or not, it really does sum up 2020. For business leaders, even on a good day, feeling a sense of control over the future can be a very elusive goal. And today it might seem even almost impossible. Long-held plans can change at a moment's notice. You're forced to make decisions quickly as you receive new information. And during this time, it is natural to experience fear, anxiety, but more importantly, it provides opportunities for leaders to demonstrate empathy, putting people first, and showcasing the importance of building relationships and trust within your team. I wanted to share some of the top tips from a recent strategy session I was involved in for successfully leading your team through challenging times. Number one, be strategic when determining business priorities. Now, it may be tempting to sit back, drop everything during a time like this, do nothing, take a break. However, becoming paralyzed by uncertainty is not the best option. Instead, take a step back, review your business objectives, work on those ones that are critical to moving your business forward during this time. You will find that this process will provide confidence within you, confidence within your team, that you are channeling your energy to where it matters most. Number two, stay accessible and commit to connecting regularly. Even if you already have a good rapport with your team, make sure you are staying connected and communicating with them on a regular basis. Reassure them that you're always accessible at any time, you're there for them during this period. I have seen some great examples of connection over the last few months from our Jeunesse crew. I have seen Zoom high teas, Zoom happy hours, and one of my favourite is the Jeunesse facial time with Luminaires. So keep those up, they are looking amazing. Number three, train your team and create knowledge. Now, as a lot of us know, not everyone in your team will be tech savvy or even prepared to use technology. So the best thing you can do is do some mini training sessions. Get them on Zoom, get them on Teams, get them on whatever platform it is that you use, and help guide them through this period, as they will soon become an online expert and in turn duplicate this throughout their teams. Now, last but not least is be patient with yourself. We all know that we are in a very unusual time at the moment, so learn to forgive yourself for not having all the right answers right away. Leave your pride at the door and don't shy away from seeking those opinions and suggestions from your team, because one thing is, I know that as a team we will succeed together. So guys, it's time to get the university started for today. Joining me, I have some very special guests coming to you from all over the world. So settle in, get comfortable, and please help me welcome your Regional Director, Chris Cooper. Over to you, Chris.
Hello, all of my Aussie, New Zealand and Fiji family. This is Chris Cooper, your Regional Director, coming to you from my lockdown here in Malaysia. I've been here, I haven't been on an airplane since February. It's the longest I've not flown for maybe more than a decade. That I'm here, I'm happy, I'm safe, and I'm glad to be with you, because for many of you, I don't think I've even seen you for a whole year since 2019. But I'm glad to be with you on this university call, because there's a few things I want to and get to share with you. I get to share with you a little bit at the end about our expo plans, a little bit about our travel incentive and the adjustments we're making to that, and a little bit about our platform. This platform we're using now is called Jeunesse Live, and you should know it well now, because I think it's been 4 months we've been sharing our messages and reaching out to you through Discover Jeunesse, our Jeunesse University, which is this call. We've done a big lead call. Next month is all about Expo. September and October is going to be Expo, 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 and then we're back to our normal Jeunesse Live calls again. But first, my message is sharing with you, because it's a university, I want to give you a little bit of teaching and training. And the thing I want to talk to you that's been pressing the most on my mind, it's about recruitment and duplication, but particularly doing it from home, because we've all been locked down. I think many of you still can't cross the state borders. Victoria, I don't know what's up, man, but Victoria, come on. Pull it together. I have a sister living in Mordialloc. I have some nephew in Frankston. So I've got family down there as well. But hopefully we can get all on top of this soon and get everything back under control. But we're all at home, working from home. And we've been focusing on, of course, recruiting and duplicating from home. Some have found it easier than others. So, I know these aren't the easiest of times. But Jeunesse, as you know, we've done quite well these past few months. But first of all, I want to ask how you are doing. How are you doing, like mentally? How have you been coping through all of this? How, like physically as well? I know it's taken a toll on a lot of people. When you go to the doctor and the doctor says, "How are you doing?" the first thing he's going to do is this: he's going to put his finger on your pulse and feel the essence, the chi, the flow, the energy of your body according to your pulse. And then he may do this one, the blood pressure. That's how medicinally we find out the first two indicators, how you're doing, your pulse and your blood pressure. If I was to ask you the same thing in my capacity as your regional director, I'll say, how are you doing? The thing I'm going to ask, my two things are, how is your recruitment? And how's your duplication? Those two things to me give the greatest measure of your business health in Jeunesse. So that's why I want to talk to you about recruitment and duplication, because I want to ask you, how are you doing business-wise according to the measures of your recruitment and duplication? The reason why these two are so important, the reason why we always need to focus on this is because of this word attrition. Attrition means kind of like a natural falling away, a natural decay. And in our business, you can recruit like crazy. A lot of people will join, but you will always have people leave, or you'll always have people stop buying, people moving on to other companies. You cannot ever stop recruiting, and you cannot ever stop duplicating because of the attrition. If you want to grow, if you want to advance in ranks, you need to always be recruiting and duplicating. A person once said, and I always remember this quote, the person who makes the most presentation wins. If this was a game, if you treat it like a game, if you want to win this game of Jeunesse, and winning is diamond, double diamond, triple diamond and beyond, if you want to win according to ranks, which is according to income as well, the person who...
And guys, as with any live event, we are experiencing some technical difficulties with Chris coming to you live today. So please accept my apologies. We will get this information out to you. But, one thing you would have heard Chris touch on was recruitment and duplication. And they are two of the most crucial aspects to building your business. They really are. But as I said, we'll get that information out to you. But one of the things I just wanted to touch on whilst we're seeing if we can fix that live connection for you is, and that Chris was going to touch on, is Expo. He mentioned September and October is going to be Expo, and it will be. As you all know, Expo is now going virtual, which is going to be amazing. It'll be expos like you have never seen before. Now, we are launching information daily. The JeunesseExpo.com is being updated daily with all the information. Tickets are for sale at the moment. Make sure you read the FAQs, because the FAQs will completely break down everything that your ticket will get you access to. And what I find truly amazing is you buy one ticket, you're effectively getting access to 6 different events. You will get access to the kickoff event in mid-September that'll be coming to you live from the Hard Rock Hotel in Florida. And you will also get access to all the regional expos after that. So, when you sit back and you look at $99.95 US and you're getting access to 6 events, that is, very, very cost effective for a lot of people. As I said, announcements are happening daily. You have the chance to win virtual meet and greets with Scott, Randy and Wendy. You will also get your swag bags. We'll be mailing them directly to you from our Sydney warehouse with some amazing contents. Randy will be launching his new book that you will have seen on our Facebook page. The speaker that we are having is second to none, going to be absolutely amazing. So if you do not have your ticket, now is the time to jump on and grab that one. And as I said, stay connected to our Facebook page, stay connected to our JBuzz, JeunesseExpo.com, and that will give you all the information that you need. So guys, we may right now jump onto our next presenter. You all know him, you all love him. He was nominated for a Nobel Prize, and here to tell you about AMPM today is Dr. GIAMPAPA. Over to you, Dr. G.
It's my pleasure to speak to all of you today in Australia and New Zealand. And today we're going to speak about the power of AMPM Essentials, which is a whole new revolutionary step beyond vitamins and minerals. You know, so in the past, vitamins and minerals were an essential part of what was thought we really needed to be healthy. But today the science has advanced dramatically, and we're going to talk about some of the major advances in cellular nutrition. The power of AMPM Essentials is a fundamental product, the foundation product actually of the YES system in Jeunesse. Okay, and my work in stem cell research in 2014 and 2015 is where this whole concept of how can we create and actually improve cell function through actually augmenting the activity of certain genes and decreasing the activity of other genes that are involved in cellular aging. And with that approach, myself and our team won 2 Nobel Prize nominations in 14 and 15. But that same focus and the same new type of science called epigenetics, meaning the ability to turn on and off different genes, is what AMPM is founded on, and the science behind AMPM and why it's so unique and different from any other supplement, vitamin mineral supplement you might see. Now, the YES system is the core, one of the core unique things of Jeunesse. And the 3 key tenets built into the YES system are the following. The first tenet is that the products designed in the YES system work from the inner aspect of the cell to the outer aspect of the body. The second tenet is that the products we design are experiential, and that means you either see or feel the difference as you continue to use those products. And the third tenet, which is very important, is the products that are in the YES system work synergistically. And that really means that if you're using more than one of the Jeunesse products, the impact of your experience, what you see and feel on your skin, or how your energy or your sleep patterns are enhanced when you use more than one product. Now, one of the interesting things about AMPM is that there's a pyramid of function, and AMPM Essentials is really the base of the pyramid. And what that really means is AMPM has been designed to help improve the function of both your stem cells and your body cells. It includes vitamins, minerals, probiotics, prebiotics, certain plant and vegetable extracts, amongst enzymes and a host of other things that are all designed to help the cells in your body function more optimally. But they're chosen specifically for reasons we're going to discuss as well. So you're starting to see that AMPM is a whole new evolutionary step beyond vitamins and minerals. You know, in general, people ask, and they don't really know this, but your body's composed of 100 trillion cells. Now, that's a lot of cells, right? But there's 2 main groups of cells. There's your body cells, or what we call somatic cells. That's what our hands, our face, our skin, this is what we feel and see in our daily life. But within our body is a second group of cells called adult stem cells. And those cells are the ones that will go to the areas of damage or aging or trauma and replace and repair the damaged body cells. What you don't realize is we're all born with a fixed number of adult stem cells. And what we want to do is help both the body cells and stem cells function optimally and stay healthy, so we don't use up that reserve of both of those cells, because that's how we live a longer, healthier life. Now, stem cells can turn into over 220 different types of cells in our body, our brain, our lungs, our liver, our heart, kidney, our muscles, our bones. Stem cells can replace and restore all of these. And this is why some of the key ingredients in Jeunesse, and some of the key ingredients in AMPM, and one of the key focuses of AMPM is to help our stem cells function more optimally. We're going to show you also a clinical study that's recently been done that actually documents this. So AMPM's focus is on restoring the function of both body cells and stem cells. Now, I don't know of any other company in Jeunesse's arena, the MLM arena, that has focused on this particular area, because this is the focus that allows us, that may help us and should help us live a healthier quality, what we call health span. That is a longer period of healthy, quality, youthful function. So what happens as we age? You know, we have this image of people going from youth to adolescence to mature adults, and that's called positive developmental aging. And during that time, we use up a lot of our stem cells to go from childhood, if you will, to mature adulthood. After mature adulthood, what happens is our cells start to not function optimally due to damage to their DNA, due to the impact of toxins in our environment. And so what happens is we start to lose the number of stem cells, but we also start to accumulate a group of bad cells called senescent cells. And these damaged bad cells actually cause us to age quickly. So the ratio of these healthy to bad cells changes dramatically. Usually it starts in our late 30s, early 40s, and then accelerates rapidly when we hit our 60s and 70s. Now, our goal is to slow that process in the research we're doing in some major universities. So there are three basic types of stem cells, and these are the hematopoietic stem cells. Okay, and most of these stem cells come from the bone marrow, and some of these stem cells are actually located in a sleeping state, kind of a hibernation state, in most of our organs. So the three major types that we need are hematopoietic stem cells, which really form our immune function. Our endothelial cells or progenitor cells create blood vessels, and they maintain blood vessels. So we can grow new blood vessels even though we're aging if we have a right number of these. And lastly, the mesenchymal stem cells or mesenchymal stem cells. These are very important groups of cells because they can turn into muscle, bone, cartilage, brain, as you saw over 220 different types of cells. So if we can maintain the function of these cells, our regenerative potential is dramatically improved. So what's really changed with the aging research and our perspective on what DNA is inside each one of those 100 trillion cells in our body? I want you to remember something. Each cell has 6 feet of DNA. So if you multiply 6 feet of DNA times 100 trillion, you have enough cells to go to the sun and back again a number of times, enough feet of DNA to go to the cell and back again, to go to the moon and back again multiple times. So this should give you an idea of the magnitude of amount of DNA we have. Now, we're looking at DNA very differently these days. And Bill Gates even came out with a quote this past year, and I want you to listen to this because this changes the whole game on cellular aging and how we age. So he said, DNA is like a computer program, but far, far more advanced than any software we've ever created. So I want you to understand something. We as human beings have created already computers that run on DNA, and they can store and analyze data much, much quicker than a regular digital computer or a computer that runs on zeros and ones. So let me give you an example. The average cell on an average day has to process hundreds of thousands of pieces of information every minute. So DNA is the only way this can be done. Our standard digital or computer on zeros and ones could never handle that information or equation. So DNA, actually, we refer to this now as our genetic software. You know, just like a computer program software can crash and a virus gets into our software, whether it's our cell phone or our computer, and you see the whole program crash, the analogy is very similar to what happens to our cells as we age. For instance, as our DNA inside the cells accumulate damage, DNA damage from our environment, from free radicals, from pollution, wherever we might live, what happens is after a certain amount of time, that genetic software or our DNA function starts to malfunction as well. So this is an essential thing to keep in mind because in our actual DNA, we have two major, if you will, genetic software programs. The first one is a general function program that allows both our stem cells and body cells to function in a more ideal fashion. Okay. The second software program or genetic software program is the day-night cycles software, which has been designed into our genetics so that in the morning we wake up with more mental focus and energy, and in the evening our genetic software is primed for a repair of our DNA, for sleep, and for detoxification of our body. And these programs have evolved over hundreds of thousands, if not millions of years. So we're now looking at our DNA as a very, very complicated genetic software program. So what's unique, again, about AMPM, and where does the power of AMPM come from? So keep in mind this. In every 2 tablets, there's over 70 ingredients. In each tablet, there's 70 ingredients. So there's 70 ingredients in the AM formula and 70 ingredients in the PM formula, plus some additional things. The ingredients that have been chosen, if you will, the probiotics, the prebiotics, the extracts of certain fruits and berries, plants, vegetable extracts, for instance, things like green barley grass, blue-green algae, turmeric, lycopene, things from, like, for instance, mustard green extracts, and even resveratrol and red grape skin extract. Each one of these things have been chosen based on this new science that has shown us that specific ingredients can turn up the activity of genes that are beneficial to our health, and other ingredients can help dampen or turn down the gene activities inside our cells that are detrimental. And this new science is called epigenetics. Let me be clear. This is so important because no other products that we know of on the market, period, have been designing products on this new science of epigenetics. And epigenetics isn't something artificial. In fact, epigenetics is a process by which all of us change our DNA daily. If you exercise like 3 times, 4 times a week, if you do not smoke, if you eat a low-fat diet, if you meditate, all of these things, believe it or not, actually change the activity of the good genes higher where we want them, and the bad genes helps dampen them and lower those activities. So the epigenetics is a system already pre-programmed in each one of us as human beings. So when we look at what is epigenetics, for instance, one of the ingredients, let's just use resveratrol, that's in AMPM. That molecule, when we digest this, will go through the blood vessel of our stomach, make its way through all the blood vessels in our body, and land on the surface of the cell. It will actually initiate a signal inside the cell, and that cell, inside that cell, certain proteins will be released that go onto the DNA, onto the chromosome of the DNA. And then what happens is, just like a shirt on your arm, if you were to roll up your sleeve, you'd see your skin, correct? Well, this is what happens to the DNA. As that signal hits the chromosomes inside the nucleus, the actual covering of the chromosome opens up like a shirt on your sleeve, on your arm, and the DNA is exposed. And once it's exposed and unravels, then the DNA actually gets copied by another protein called DNA polymerase, and it creates a protein that actually then gets transported out of the cell into the circulation. Now, why is that important? Proteins are what make up tissue. For instance, a group of proteins will make up muscle. Other group of proteins will make up bone. Other groups of proteins will make your immune system and help maintain it so it's strong. So this is simply a natural, what we call, process that occurs in the body based upon each specific ingredient we choose for AMPM. It's a whole unique process. So DNA is a code inside our cells. And frankly, when we start to copy the information on DNA, it gets turned into RNA, which is what forms the proteins. And those proteins make tissues, tissues make organs, organs make our body. Now, you might say, people say to me, well, Dr. G, I'm 68 or I'm 70 or I'm 80. It's too late for me. Let me be clear. There are no human beings whose genetic software is older than 7 years, okay? Their cells are no older than 7 years. In fact, the DNA inside our cells is replaced every 3 to 4 months. So every 3 to 4 months, if you have a healthy lifestyle, exercise, diet, eat the right supplements, you've actually restored that genetic software. Every 7 years, you replace every cell in your body. So this is an amazing thing to keep in mind, because it's never too late to start a healthy lifestyle to improve your health and your longevity. So when we look at AM/PM, we're really looking at a product that can help upgrade your genetic software. But let's take a look at, for instance, some of the impact that both that AM and PM formulas do. For instance, we did a summary of a study of over 300 people who took AM/PM over the course of a number of months. And one of the biggest improvements we saw was sleep. Okay, for the first 4 weeks, people's sleep improved dramatically, over 40%. But at the end of 12 weeks, their sleep improved even up to 68, 70, some people even 80%. So why is sleep important? We're going to talk about that in a minute. But the combination of AM/PM also had a tremendous improvement, for instance, almost 70% with most people who rated their energy levels improved by that. Their mental focus, almost the same. Their ability to handle stress or to feel more calm was almost 60% better. So we're starting to see that using the right natural ingredients can really enhance the quality of our daily life and our function. So let's take a quick look at what, again, the importance of sleep, because during this stressful period we're all in, where our immune system is essential to help keep strong and maintain ideal function. One of the things that's recently come out, and I've been expressing this essential information in all my talks, is the power of sleep. So if you don't get at least 7 hours, in fact, 7 to 8 hours is ideal. Once you start to sleep too much, 9 or 10 hours, that's detrimental. And if you don't get at least 7 hours, then that's detrimental. But if you don't get at least 7 hours, here's what happens. Your incidence of, for instance, anxiety, your incidence of high blood pressure, cardiovascular disease, and even, for instance, depression is almost 6 times greater than somebody who has a healthy nutritional program in place. In fact, even certain cancers seem to be directly related now to lack of sleep. And melatonin, which is what brings on sleep, is directly related to people who tend to get a breast cancer. So if you're not getting enough melatonin, you're not getting enough sleep, that is just one of the predisposing factors. Now, one of the things people notice if they don't get enough sleep is they gain weight. Okay, and why is that? It's because when you don't sleep enough, the hormone cortisol starts to get elevated. And when you have elevated cortisol, it converts your carbohydrates into fat, and you see yourself gaining weight. So there's all these interesting things about sleep. And one of the most potent experiential impacts of PM is enhancing both the duration and quality of your sleep. So again, we have 2 formulas, and there are different groupings of ingredients in AM as opposed to PM. And as you know, what I'm saying is that the AM formula has been designed for energy and focus, and there's ingredients that help do that as well, help restore certain hormonal levels. In the PM formula, it's been designed for repair, that is repair of the cells and DNA, and to enhance our sleep, and also to help with detoxification, both inside the cell and inside the body. So one of the most common questions I get about people, and I get all the time, is, well, how many tablets should I take? I know it says 2 tablets of AM with breakfast, 2 tablets PM about an hour before to sleep. Well, let me explain something to you. Each one of us are unique human beings. And one of the interesting and I think very valuable things about AM/PM essentials is you can personalize your dose based upon how you feel and what you need. And let me give you an example. I take 2 AM and PM, 2 AMs with breakfast. I take at least 1 more AM at lunch, because that helps give me the mental focus and energy to be optimal. And I might take 2 or 3 PMs depending upon how I'm sleeping or if I'm traveling. Now, in between my AM, my morning, lunch, and dinner or nighttime, I always take my Zen protein in the middle of the morning and in the middle of the afternoon. And why do I do that? It's because if I don't have enough protein, my body can't maintain its muscle mass. My body can't maintain its bone density. And very importantly these days, protein is the basis of what creates our immunoglobulins to keep our immune system strong. So I'm trying to give you my regimen, and frankly, my regimen is based on the science I read up on every day that's at the cutting edge, because my goal is to stay as healthy as possible in whatever time we are when our immune systems are under ideal stress like they are today. The third thing I normally take, believe it or not, is Vita Blue, because Vita Blue helps release stem cells. And as we talked initially in this webinar, the more stem cells we have, particularly hematopoietic stem cells, the more the potential strength of our immune system. And then also, the more mesenchymal stem cells we have, the more muscle, bone, cartilage those stem cells can turn into to help keep us functioning more ideally. So in summary, if you're a big person and you're over 200 pounds, you may be wanting to take not just 2, but 3 a.m.s and then 3 p.m.s. Experiment, see what gives you the best feeling, the best experience. And then you may want to take 1 or 2 a.m.s at lunchtime. So try this and see what works out. This is really the beginning of a personalized nutritional supplement regimen that you can create for yourself. So let's take a look at DNA and cell health. Well, as I said, we're looking at DNA as a new form of genetic software, and no one wants to have a computer that crashes. And the analogy is that no one wants to have, now that you understand this, a lot of damage to your DNA and genetic material. So we've had, with AM/PM Essentials, we have our tablets, AM Essentials and PM Essentials, 2 different formulas. And one of the questions I also get frequently is, you know, Dr. G, the TGA only allows certain compounds. Our formula is a little different than what's in the EU, which is a little different than it's in Hong Kong. So one of the interesting and beneficial things about having formulas with 70 plus ingredients, if 1 or 2 of those ingredients is not allowed in a specific marketplace, what I then do for that marketplace is create or add additional different compounds that are allowed that can actually create the same effect. And let me give you one example. In certain marketplaces, melatonin is not allowed. One of those is Japan, for sure. It's considered a drug. Okay, but for instance, if in Europe, there's certain countries that don't allow melatonin also. But what I can do is they do allow 5-HTP or tryptophan they'll allow. Now in the body, tryptophan gets converted into melatonin as you use it. So you are getting the net effect as if you were taking melatonin, because it comes from a precursor called tryptophan. So this is just an example of how I can make sure that the product you're getting, even though the ingredients are different, has the net final effect inside each one of your cells. So AM/PM, again, is one of the most important products as the foundation of the ES system. Okay, and if you were to take a look at, and we've done this, actually buy the individual ingredients in both AM and PM, you would be spending somewhere around $400 to $500 a month just buying the individual ingredients and having to swallow a number of capsules you could never even get down, never mind once a day, but twice a day. So this slide really helps illustrate this. So what we've done is condensed these key ingredients into a format where your body can absorb what it needs without the inconvenience of taking multiple numbers of pills. And in certain countries, we have the AM/PM powder available, which again alleviates the need for a large number of pills. So we talked about these genetic software programs, and frankly, the key program is to help set the function of both our stem cells and body cells, to have those cells enhanced and worked at their optimal efficiency. And the second kind of genetic program is our day-night focus, or day-night software program. And again, I keep on stressing, when you go to other companies, or when you go to the supplement store, or GNC, or one of these, the key chains, you will not see an epigenetic product. This is what makes it unique to Jeunesse. So let's talk about one other thing as we kind of wind things down. You know, we all inherit the genes from our parents. We have 3,000 genes that we inherit. And the funny thing is, out of those 3,000 genes, maybe only 10% of those genes are activated at different episodes in our life. So one of the things you have to realize is that you inherit genetic tendencies, not genetic certainties. Because your parents had heart disease or high cholesterol doesn't mean you're going to get that. It means you have a tendency to get that. And if you have the information to know about what supplements to take, how to edit or improve your lifestyle, it's funny, 70% of our genes that we inherit are controlled by our exercise, diet, supplements, mind state. Only 30% of those genes are fixed. So you really have the power. You yourself are in charge of how your genetic software works. So let's take a look at, in 2015, we did a study at Taiwan University, the China Medical University. And I always wanted to see, can AMPM really create the impact in living cells, so to speak, that we've actually designed this product with? And we know we've had some clinical evidence of that, but we really wanted to look at specific genes. So what we did was take living cells from key animals we use normally to test different drugs from the pharmaceutical industry. And we fed those cells AM and PM, but at the same time and we had another group that didn't get AM and PM, and we had two other groups that just got AM and just got PM. So really kind of look at things. And what we looked at are the key genes that were involved in what we call stem cell function. And when we looked at the activity of what these genes, which were called the NANOG genes and the ECAT genes, which are involved in increasing the number of stem cells, but also the stem cells turning into different types of stem cells, we were shocked to find out that within the first couple of weeks, the activity of those genes, and on this slide you'll see, the darker and bigger the little area is, the more active the genes were. So the stem cell genes definitely got activated by PM. But we also were surprised to see that a second group of genes that we really thought were just the AM genes would be activated. These are called the sirtuin genes. And these are the genes that are involved in longevity and calorie restriction. And these are the genes that help turn on DNA repair. So the sirtuin genes were augmented dramatically by AM, but also by PM. And we also found that although AM had a minor impact on some of the genes for stem cell differentiation, it was really the PM formula that seemed to be the most effective. And again, this goes right along with our whole theory on how to design AM, PM, and having PM be more effective for cell repair, detoxification, and basically repairing our genetic software, our DNA. So the China study for this first time, looking at a supplement with multiple ingredients, was the first time we could actually start to show some research evidence that a product, a nutritional product, could actually impact your genetic software, your genes. And two different formulas actually have a slightly different effect and a synergistic effect together as well. So in summary, and just to wind things up, I think one of the most important things you could glean out of this whole lecture is that when you're taking AM, PM, you're going to sleep better. You'll have better mental focus. You'll have more energy. But what you're going to what you didn't realize, is you're actually helping to restore the activity of over 3,000 genes in 100 trillion cells, based upon the ingredients and the science that's back behind this product. And as you take this product, AMPM has been designed to enhance how the rest of the cells in our bodies work. And when that happens, for instance, the other products in the S system, Reserve, Affinity, Mind, the Luminous skincare line, all of these cells will tend to react even more efficiently to the ingredients in the other products from the S system, because the basic unit of the body, the cell, is actually working more efficiently. So one of the key things I'll just wind up with is, I've been asked by many people all over the world, or all of our almost 1 million distributors, Dr. G, what can I do that is really sound advice that can help me stay healthy, help my immune system, and not just against a specific situation or a COVID or just in general, how can I help keep my immune system strong? So the three products I recommend to everybody are AMPM. Okay. Why? AMPM has probiotics, prebiotics, antioxidants, and by the way, pro and prebiotics, which are also in Zen Prime, those are essential to keep your gut intestinal flora optimal, because without the right intestinal biome, your body can't make its immunoglobulins ideally. With the right protein, without the right amount of protein, your body can't make the right immunoglobulins, as well as the need for protein to make other components of your immune system. And then the other product I always recommend is Vita Blue, because Vita Blue actually helps release a greater number of all three stem cell types. So if we have more stem cells, we start sleeping better, we have more prebiotics, more protein, more antioxidants, and even Reserve can supply additional antioxidants for specific people who are older or live in a real kind of polluted environment or an environmental area where there's a lot of stress. So you really have the key group or synergistic products to help, which may help and basically give your body's immune system the building blocks it needs to stay at its optimal functional level. So in summary, let's just finish this up in one sentence. If we look at our DNA as our genetic software, and that's even Bill Gates is looking at that, and even today we're creating computers that run on DNA. And the big question is, who is the programmer? So my answer to you is this: you are the programmer. We are the programmers. With the right information, okay, information is essential, because with the right information, information changes our thoughts. Thoughts change our habits. Our habits change our genes, and when we can alter our genes positively, that can enhance our health span, the quality of life we have, and in general live a more functional and optimal life to be productive and be around the people that are so important to us. So with that, I hope I really brought across how important AMPM is, the power of AMPM, and the key science that makes and distinguishes this product far above anything else that's on the market. I want to wish all of you a super healthy and happy evening, and go away with the information here that will change your thoughts, your habits, your activities, and your genes. Talk to you soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. G. What an incredible man, and what an incredible product. You know, I'm so incredibly proud that Jeunesse is the leader in epigenetics, and a couple of those points there that Dr. G made are just, you know, truly fascinating. It's never too late to start living a healthy lifestyle. DNA cells are replaced every 3 to 4 months in our body. You know, that is something that a lot of people don't realize, and every 7 years, every cell in our body is replaced. It is absolutely incredible science. So what I wanted to do now is just take a little bit of a break and do a giveaway. So what we're going to do is we're giving away what we call a healthcare package. It will include AMPM, Reserve, some Mind. So what I want you to do is, I hope you've been listening. I want you to answer, drop a comment below in the Facebook feed. We will be back at the end to let you know who the winners are. The first 3 people to answer the question correctly will win. Now the question is, what year was Dr. GIAMPAPA nominated for a Nobel Prize? Go, comment below, let us know what that year was, and we will come back to you at the end with the prize winners. What I'm really looking forward to is, you know, spending some time with Dr. G over the last couple of weeks. Is we, for the month of October, will be running what's called the month of AMPM. Sorry, not very creative, but the best I could come up with at the moment. But we will be focusing, doing a 4-weekly training series for the month of October on AMPM. Dr. G will be doing in-depth training every week, you know, showing you the importance of AMPM. doing a deep dive into what every ingredient can do for your body. So I'm really excited about that one, the month of October, and we may even have some AM PM promotions to go along with it. So I see everyone commenting there. Keep going, guys. We'll come back to you shortly and let you know who the winners are, for today. Now, last but not least, coming up for you is none other than our double diamond director, LYNDON BIERNOFF. He is coming to you live from Port Douglas, so forgive him for the little bit of wind in the background, but over to you, LYNDON.
Hey, Jeunesse world, it is double diamond LYNDON BIERNOFF, and today I'm in beautiful Port Douglas in far north Queensland, just a hop, step and a jump from the Great Barrier Reef. And this weekend was meant to be the Australia Sapphire Retreat. Fortunately, because of the crazy times we live in today, the event couldn't go ahead, but with me living in the great state of Queensland, I still had the opportunity to use my flights that I booked months ago. So I'm having a Sapphire Retreat for two. Myself and my beautiful wife, Rebecca, that's my cameraman at the moment. I thought, what am I going to do? I thought maybe it would be a great opportunity to share a video that kind of balances out the uncertain times that we're in at the moment. So many people are suffering anxiety, so many people are stressed out about the lack of surety about where life's going, financial pressures, the stress of the whole pandemic situation. I mean, it's even stressful just looking at Facebook and looking at the 1,000,001 opinions and conspiracy theories and people at each other's throats. It's crazy. But what people really love is to be able to have surety, to be able to feel confident about tomorrow, to be able to know where their future is going. And I think that in the world of network marketing, I can offer a few thoughts. Can't really give you too many thoughts about where things are going at the moment with politics and pandemics and everything else. I mean, that's just chaos. But network marketing, I can certainly give you a few thoughts. This industry for me has been my life for 33 years. I started out as a 17-year-old teenager with big aspirations to do great things in this industry, and this industry has blessed me no end. I've been able to learn a lot. And so I wanted to share with you how you can build a strong foundation in this industry, because this is an industry that can absolutely be a blessing during times of uncertainty, like what we're living in right now. As long as you understand and know what to do, there are some very strong principles that will really affect whether you have a strong foundation with your business or you don't. So how do you be a long-term success story in network marketing? Number one, you have to be sure. Now, what I mean by that is you have to be passionate about network marketing. You have to love this industry. You have to truly believe that your life is going to be better for being part of the great industry of network marketing. You have to believe no matter what level of success that you have, this industry is going to provide great personal growth. It's going to improve your character. It's going to improve your self-confidence. I mean, really, this is the best personal development program on the planet. And if you're really good at it, you get paid for that personal development as well. What I mean about being sure, you don't want to doubt what you're doing. It doesn't mean that you have to know everything. Network marketing is a skill. The only way that you get better is participation, being involved in the industry over a long period of time. I know for me, when I started as a teenager in this industry, I was a pretty lousy networker, but I was sure that my involvement in the industry was right for me. I kept being involved. I kept learning. I had an open mind, and over a period of years, in fact, probably 7 or 8 years, I eventually got to the point where I felt, you know what? I'm now a skilled network marketer. I've put a lot of things that I've learned into practice. This is the mindset that you have to have. Number two, is to know who you are. What's your identity? What is a network marketer? This is something that's absolutely key, because I say network marketing is one of the most misunderstood occupations on the planet, and I totally believe that that is true. We make it far more confused than what it really needs to be, because network marketers are purely very powerful and at times highly paid storytellers. Our job is to share a message that you believe can bring people hope again. You share a message about products and an opportunity that can change people's lives physically, that can change people's lives confidence-wise, that can change people's lives mentally, can change people's lives financially. You've got to be someone who understands that your job is to broker that information in the most confident, fun, exciting, and competent way possible. That is your identity, to be that storyteller over and over and over again. You've got to be someone who's prepared to master the monotonous. And what do I mean by that? Well, mastering monotony is the one way that people become ultra skilled in whatever endeavor that they're chasing to become proficient in. You know, when you think about sporting teams, when you think about individual sports stars, you hear part of how they say how they've got so good at what they do is that they've been able to master a lot of the little things and to be able to connect all those things together to become ultra efficient at what they do. And that's what's absolutely crucial. Now, here in network marketing, one of the main reasons that people quit is they get bored having to do the same skill sets over and over and over again. And that's one of the quickest ways to leave and to go out of this industry. So what are some of the monotonous things that you've got to be good at? Well, obviously, you've got to be good at having a continual strong mindset. You've got to be good at being able to share the story over again, loving that message. In fact, loving being able to get that message across better the next time, and the next time, and the next time. What else is monotonous is list management. You need an audience. How do you continually, each and every day, enrich and renew your list? Being able to go to meetings and events, making phone calls, approaching people, getting out of your comfort zone. There's so many monotonous things that we have to do over and over again. But you've got to learn to love them. They are challenging. I'm not saying that they're easy, but that's how you get better. And in sport, if you can do the same thing with hitting a tennis ball, tackling a player from an opposing team, whatever the skill set is, love being able to do that really well. You can go to the top of your game and be an absolute superstar in your sporting endeavour. Number 4 is being able to know that enrolling is the key. Network marketers are all about duplication. You being proficient in your skill set, but being able to help other people also do exactly the same thing, maybe even better than you are. Enrolling is absolutely the key. It's probably one of the greatest signs of leadership in network marketing, is being able to replicate yourself in another person, enrolling another person, enrolling another person. And unfortunately in this industry, what people tend to do is enroll very well in the beginning when they start, because let's face it, you're approaching and enrolling people who you feel very comfortable to talk to. You might enroll 20 people in your first couple of months, 30, 40, but what usually happens, that number really starts to drop off because enrolling starts to get harder, so we do it less often. Enrolling now means that you've got to talk to strangers, people you're not familiar with, and that becomes a little bit harder. And also too, you have expectations that maybe I've done enough to be a superstar. The people that I've already enrolled are going to build and take my business all the way to the top. Enrolling is absolutely the key, because this keeps your business fresh. The compensation plan actually rewards it. I mean, the most rewarding part of this compensation plan is those matching enrollment bonuses. So you enrolling regularly, consistently, is absolutely vitally important. Now, you're always going to enroll more people in the beginning of your business. That's true. It's going to get harder over time, but you set yourself a consistent enrollment goal of enrolling 2 to 4 good people each and every month long term. If you can do that, that's pretty much a sweet spot. In your first few months, if you're just starting out, I mean, your first 90 days enrolling 30 people is not unheard of. And if you're fortunate, you might have a couple of good ones in that lot of enrollment besides customers and sometimes people that tend to drop out. Number 5 is mindset is absolutely everything. Remember at the start of this video, I spoke about that this is one of the best personal development programs on the planet, and you get paid for that personal development growth. But it requires an incredible amount of mindset, because here you don't have anyone telling you what to do. You're your own boss, and for many people that can be your undoing. You've got to be able to go to work, get up, go to work each and every day. Start on time, finish on time, and be productive during the day. For most people, network marketing is like a holiday, expecting to be at coffee shops, taking photographs of yourself at your office next to your pool, and not really being that productive. Can you show up? Can you put in that great level of effort each and every day? Can you do so regardless of whether you're having a good day or not? You know, mindset is everything. Think about the cliches that we hear on stage, with diamonds walking along the stage being recognized. You hear that consistency is absolutely the key. Well, we kind of know that, but most people aren't consistent. Being consistent is doing these things on a regular basis no matter what. We hear about focus, being absolutely laser focused with what we're doing. These are all things that require mindset. Being able to put in that hard work, being able to do what other people talk themselves out of. Mindset, mindset, mindset. You don't have to be an expert at network marketing when you start, but you have to have that mindset of constantly and never-endingly improving what you're doing. That can-I principle, constant and never-ending improvement. And number 6, lastly, and the most important, we all want to enroll unbelievable people. If you're going to become a diamond, then you don't actually have to enroll that many people, but you do have to enroll small numbers of unbelievably talented, good people. And to be able to find those people, that's the challenge. And this is where so many people drop off, because they say, I've enrolled 10 people, none are any good. I've enrolled 20 people, 30 people, 40 people, none of them are any good. So how do you enroll small numbers of good people? Well, it comes back to embracing the greatest attribute of leadership. And that greatest attribute of leadership is influence. There isn't anything more powerful as a leader than influence. And so what you have to do as a network marketer is be an incredible vehicle for inspiration. You have to set a standard. You have to be able to shoot for excellence. You have to do everything so well that it becomes contagious. You have to do everything so well that the very people that you're working with, the very people that are committing to you, are feeling that they can achieve more just by standing next to you, just by knowing that you're there in their corner to support them. Your job is to inspire, to inspire, to inspire. And you'll find by doing that, you'll do 2 things. You'll attract and be able to enroll the very people that you're looking for, but also 2, you'll take some very average people and end up turning them into superstars. You know, a lot of people go out there and look for leaders, or maybe people that have been a big deal in another network marketing company, but there are actually a lot of incredible people that are nobodies. They're average. Maybe they've failed at all sorts of endeavors in the past, but this is their moment to shine, provided that you're that person that's going to provide them with that level of inspiration. And if you can do that, That will take you from being a good network marketer to a great network marketer. You know, someone that's on that top 100 earners list, that person that's leading a lifestyle that most people just think is a mirage or a dream. So guys, just going through those things again. 6 things that are crucial for you to have a long-term, strong level of success in this industry. Building that strong foundation are these 6 things. Number 1, be absolutely sure about what you're doing. Don't second guess network marketing. This is an awesome industry. It's been around for 110 years. It'll be here for another 110, that's for sure. And I can tell you, pandemic aside, I would much rather be in a pandemic with an income stream from this incredible industry than not. Number 2, know who your identity is and embrace that identity. Love being a network marketer and know that you are a powerful storyteller. You have an incredible power to change the lives of other people. That's incredible. Number 3, be someone that wants to master their skill set, master the monotonous, love prospecting, love list building, love going to events, love getting on Zooms and webinars, love coaching and supporting people, love doing all of those things that you have to do often in this industry. Be someone that really wants to be excellent at the monotonous things. Because if you find them boring, if you find them too repetitive, then you're never going to be a great network marketer, that's for sure. Enrolling is the key. You're going to have your ups and downs in this industry, that's for sure. But a very wise person once told me there is no problem too big in this industry that a dozen good enrollments can't fix. If you're struggling with your business, think about how many people you've enrolled in the last 3, 4, 5, 6 months. It's probably not many. Fix that problem, your business will turn around, that's for sure. Mindset is absolutely everything. If you don't have it, get it. It's a choice. Having that strong mindset is crucial. Be consistent, be focused, do all of those things that we hear are cliche, but we don't really take seriously enough. Remember, there are people that are low on skill, but are high on mindset that end up becoming superstars in this industry, and I'm sure many of you know examples. Lastly, inspiration. Network marketing stars are inspirational leaders. This is the greatest attribute of leadership. How can you influence people around you to believe that they can do more? How can you influence the people around you to believe that they're a superstar, even when they believe that they're not? How can you take someone and believe that they can achieve more? It's all to do with your level of influence. You have to inspire people. You have to set that standard. And in the end, you've got to have that level of confidence where you feel that you can perform on a good day, on a bad day, on an in-between day. Pandemic, no pandemic, whatever the challenge might be, you're still able to be a positive influence for change for the people that are around you. So guys, I hope I've given you a little bit of food for thought. I'm pretty bummed out that we didn't have a Sapphire retreat this weekend, but I know we're going to have many more great events in the future. You know, we've got a superb general manager here in Australia, Rachel McVinish and team. We're so lucky to have someone like that, and know that things are only going to get better in the future. We'll get through this tough period, but having a network marketing business behind you, I tell you what, I would rather have that through this period than not. This is an incredible industry. I've been part of it for 33 years. I hope I'm part of it for another 33 years. Cheers, guys. Go to the top.
Thank you very much, Lyndon. It is great presentation, amazing content. It is not hard to see why he is a double diamond. One of the points he made that I absolutely loved was network marketing is a skill. You don't have to know everything, you just need to participate and have the right mindset. That was the gold nugget out of that presentation. You know, absolutely true. Now, I did promise we were going to have the little giveaway today. We've been watching everyone's comments on Facebook. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for participating in the giveaway. We do have our 3 winners. Winner number 1, Ange Prima from New Zealand. Congratulations, Ange. Winner number 2, Catherine Smith. And winner number 3, Jeanette Corbett. We will be in contact with you late this afternoon or first thing tomorrow, and we'll get that delivery off to you ASAP. So guys, that brings us to the end of today's broadcast. Make sure, if you don't already, you go and get your expo ticket. It is going to be an incredible event with an incredible lineup. You do not want to miss that event. I will look forward to seeing each and every one of you on our next corporate update. In the meantime, keep telling the Jeunesse story, keep changing people's lives, and trust the process. Thanks, guys, and thanks for being with us.